All right, we're ready to build a canvas. The things that you need are your stretcher boards, your panels, the staple gun, and rolled canvas scissors, and a pencil. So here you see the boards just fit into themselves. You want to make sure they're kind of tight, and you want to make sure the ends are even. Then you're going to staple a few staples in each corner, and make sure for safety that you're pointing away from you. There's an arrow that points out. Make sure no one is going by. You should be doing this on a table. I'm just having it demoed on the floor. So one would be okay, two would be perfect. And then you put the canvas out and you're going to trace. You want to leave a little bit of space around it so that you can pull it over and it is going to be stapled. So you can look at the piece. It's usually about an inch, but you can kind of pull it up and check that way. So if you wanted to be careful, you could use a pencil and draw and just kind of measure with a ruler. But as long as there's enough, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is on the back side, but you do want to make sure that there is enough canvas to come up over the sides. Okay, so now you're going to lay out the canvas and you want to turn it around so that the staples that you did in the beginning are not showing, because you don't want to staple into staples. So then now it's kind of like a puzzle. So you go middle, 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 all the way around. So each side, and you want to kind of pull, but you don't want to pull too hard. And again, safety wise, you just want to make sure that the orange arrow is pointing away from you. There also is a bump. You want to make sure that you are seeing the bump. If the staple gun isn't working, you have to take the staples out and grab new staples, and you should be fine. So end to end, so there's a little bump in the board. You want to go right underneath the bump. So you go one staple in the middle on all four corners, and then you're going to go one staple on each side of the first staple you did, all the way around. And depending on which staple gun, sometimes they're a little tricky. So you do have to make sure that you get a nice long, that all of them are out, and you get a nice long piece. The staples go up at you, they don't go down, but you'll be able to see a picture to be able to do that. So here you can see the arrow is pointing away from you. Now this is the trickiest part, is to do the corners. You need to fold the corners. It's kind of like a present. You just don't want to see it from the other side. That is the main part. So you don't want to have extra bulk. And you do want a couple staples in each side. So you're going to have to practice to get the fold to be exactly how you want. Here my she looks like she's a pro at it. Okay, so again, just staple a couple times in the corner to make sure it is secure, and make sure the ends get folded over so that you can't see it from the other side. The next step is to add gesso, but you just want to make sure that your canvas is tight but not too tight. It'll tighten up when we do the gesso. So this is what it should look like. Okay, moving on to the gesso. So you need to get it. It's in the red cabinet. You can pour it on a separate plate, or it's just as easy just to pour some on top. You can use a bigger brush to spread it out, but you do want a nice even coat on the top, the sides, and a little bit on the back. You don't want too much gesso. You just want a nice even coat. Let it dry. Do another coat. Let it dry. And sometimes you need a third coat. And that's it.